Hi, what I'm going to do in this poser tutorial is try and answer a question that's asked a lot on the forums, and that is how to apply the bones, how to apply the rigging to a character model that you've perhaps created in a third-party modelling program. The modelling program I use is TrueSpace, and if I bring that up here you can see that I've modelled a pretty cartoon boy, nothing particularly special, big on. And I now want to get him into poser and make him so that he can pose, be animated, and not just a static model. Now the difficulty is poser comes with a grouping tool, but I must admit that I don't find it very easy to use. I've tried a few times, but my workflow goes better to do it something different. So it's that process that I'm going to run through now. If I start with my model, what I'm going to do is start by colour coding the sections. Different model applications will do this in a different way, but the basic tenet will be the same. I'm going to apply a colour to different sections of this model. So supposing I want all of this section to be the chest, I'm going to colour it all one colour. Okay, and I can continue round, and I need to make sure that, for example, at the collars, the chest will completely separate between the collar and the neck. And I can do this for any number. I can change a colour and colour code the next bit. You can see here this will be the collar. I'm not going to fill them all in for this demonstration, but just to give an idea. And then I can define where I want the shoulder to go, and keep on going, changing a different colour. This will be the forearm, and so on. And you can progress through the whole model, and you can clearly see what you've chosen and designated into a colour-coded group and what is still to do. And if I jump ahead and select one that I've already done, you'll see groups. Materials in this model, but for this part of the process all I'm doing is I'm colour coding the model to designate where I want it divided into groups. I then save this out and get it into an OBJ format ready for the next process. And here we can start in the next stage. The application I'm using here is UV Mapper. You can do this in the free version that's available, or you can, as I've got here, use the Pro version. Incidentally, if you're going to use do any amount of UV mapping or manipulation of these models, I highly suggest you do get the Pro version. It's well worth it. You can see we've got our model here. It's been colour coded, and the materials, you can see clearly where I want the different body parts to be designed. And very simply I can click on a body part. If I select the hip or the hip area, I can go select by material. I think it's that one. There we are. You can see it highlighted in the wireframe view, and then in the tools menu I can go to tools, assign to group, and I can type in or select the group that I wish it to go into, and that'll be the hip. Click OK. Let's do another one. Let's select the abdomen area. I can clearly see what I'm selecting by the colour coding. Select material. In the wireframe you can see it's become highlighted. I can go to my tools, assign to group, and type in abdomen and click OK. Do one more just for clarification. This time I'm going to select the chest area. Again, very clear to see what I've got. Select material, material 2. If I need to, I can turn that round, make sure I've got exactly what I have got. Make sure that the chest clearly splits the difference between the collars and the neck, which it does. And I can go to my tools, assign to group, and assign it to the chest. And so I can go through body part by body part, assigning all the different body groups. Once I've finished, I can then, if I want to, at this stage, select, shall we say, all the pants, and now go Tools, Assign to, this time, Material, type in the material name. I'm going to call it Pants, click OK. I get a pop-up saying Material Pants does not exist. Do you want to create it? Yes, I do. And there we are. Instead of being coloured by group, I've now designated it to the Material Pants. I still have my grouping, which was the whole purpose of the exercise. If I select by right-clicking the wireframe and select Group, select Hip, you can see it's still there, and I can work through. So to recap, I brought in my model, which I'd colour-coded in my 3D modelling program. By selecting each material in turn, I can assign it to a group, and once I've completed that operation, I can then select the different actual material areas, such as the pants, the sweater, the skin, and so forth, and define those as an actual material name. Once I've finished, I'm going to File, Save, and save my model, and that completes this section.